Winter in Canada doesn't creep up quietly. It arrives fast. And every single year, thousands of homeowners get caught off guard by problems that could have been prevented with a single afternoon of preparation. If you've ever dealt with a burst pipe at 2 in the morning, a furnace that quits on the coldest night of the year, or a heating bill so high it made you question your life choices, you already know that winter has a way of finding the weak spots in your home and exploiting them mercilessly. The good news is that almost every winter disaster is preventable. And today, we're walking through the hidden winter checklist that every Canadian homeowner needs to complete before the temperature drops and it becomes too late to fix anything without paying a fortune for emergency repairs. Let's start with the single most expensive and most common winter disaster: frozen and burst pipes. When water freezes inside a pipe, it expands, and that expansion puts tremendous pressure on the pipe walls until they crack or burst completely, often releasing hundreds of liters of water into your home before anyone notices. To prevent this, walk through your home and identify any pipes that run along exterior walls, in unheated basements, in crawl spaces, or in the garage, because these are the pipes most vulnerable to freezing. Wrap them in foam pipe insulation, which costs just a few dollars per length and takes minutes to install, yet can save you from a repair bill running into the thousands. If you have an outdoor hose bib, disconnect the garden hose now, drain any remaining water, and shut off the interior valve that feeds it if your home has one, because a forgotten hose left attached over winter is one of the most common causes of frozen and burst outdoor spigots. On the coldest nights of the year, let a thin stream of water trickle from faucets connected to vulnerable pipes, since moving water is far less likely to freeze than standing water. And if you're planning any trips away from home this winter, never turn your heat off completely. Keep your thermostat set to at least 15 degrees Celsius, because an unheated home in a Canadian winter is an open invitation for pipes to freeze while you're not there to catch the problem early. Next on the checklist is your furnace, the single hardest working appliance in your home during the winter months, and one that too many homeowners simply ignore until it stops working. Before the deep cold arrives, replace your furnace filter, since a clogged filter restricts airflow, forces your system to work harder, drives up your energy bills, and can even cause your furnace to overheat and shut down entirely. Most filters should be replaced every 1 to 3 months during heavy use. And if you can't remember the last time you changed yours, that's your answer right there. Beyond the filter, this is the time to schedule a professional furnace inspection if you haven't had one in the past year, because a technician can catch small issues like a cracked heat exchanger, a failing igniter, or a dirty blower motor before they turn into a complete breakdown on the coldest night of January. While you're at it, test your carbon monoxide detectors, since furnaces that aren't functioning properly can leak this odorless, invisible gas into your home. And working detectors are genuinely a matter of life and safety, not just comfort. Now let's talk about something that quietly drains money out of your pocket all winter long, and that's air leaks around your home. Even a small gap around a window or door can let in a surprising amount of cold air, forcing your furnace to run longer and more often just to maintain a comfortable temperature. Grab a lit candle or an incense stick on a windy day and hold it near the edges of your windows, doors, electrical outlets, and any place where pipes or wires enter your home from outside. If the flame flickers or the smoke swirls, you've found a leak. Weather stripping and caulking are inexpensive fixes that can be completed in an afternoon, and they often pay for themselves within a single winter through reduced heating costs. Don't forget your attic hatch, which is one of the most overlooked sources of heat loss in Canadian homes, allowing warm air to escape upward and cold air to seep in around the edges. A simple foam gasket kit around the hatch can make a noticeable difference in how evenly heated your home feels. Speaking of your attic, this is one of the most important and most neglected areas of your entire home when it comes to winter preparation. Proper attic insulation and ventilation prevent something called ice damming, which happens when heat escaping from your living space warms the underside of your roof, melts the snow sitting on top, and that meltwater runs down and refreezes at the colder eaves, forming a ridge of ice that backs up water underneath your shingles. This is one of the most damaging and expensive winter problems a home can face, because it can lead to water leaking directly into your ceilings, walls, and insulation. And by the time you notice the stain on your ceiling, the damage is often already extensive. If you notice icicles forming heavily along your roofline or ice ridges building up at the edges, that's a warning sign that your attic isn't properly insulated or ventilated, and it's worth having a professional take a look before the problem escalates. While you're thinking about your roof, take a walk around the outside of your home and look up, checking for any loose, cracked, or missing shingles, since a small vulnerability in your roof in the fall can become a serious leak once snow and ice settle in for months. Your gutters deserve just as much attention as your roof, because clogged gutters filled with leaves and debris can't properly channel melting snow and ice away from your foundation. When gutters back up, that water can overflow and run down your exterior walls, seep into your foundation, or freeze into heavy ice formations that pull the gutters away from your house entirely. Clean your gutters thoroughly before the first snowfall, and make sure downspouts are directing water at least a couple of meters away from your foundation, because water pooling near your foundation is one of the leading causes of basement moisture problems, cracks, and even structural damage over time. Now let's move to the basement, an area that many homeowners forget about entirely until something goes wrong. Check for any cracks in your foundation walls and seal them before winter, since even hairline cracks can allow cold air in and moisture to seep through, especially during freeze-thaw cycles when water expands and contracts within the concrete. If your basement has ever felt damp or shown any signs of moisture, address it now, because trapped moisture combined with cold temperatures creates the perfect environment for mold growth that can affect both your home's structure and your family's health. This is also a good time to check your sump pump if you have one, testing it by pouring a bucket of water into the pit to make sure it activates and drains properly, since a sump pump failure during a winter thaw can lead to a flooded basement when you least expect it. Let's talk about your windows and doors more broadly, because they're responsible for a huge portion of heat loss in most homes. If you have older single-pane windows, consider installing window insulation film, an inexpensive plastic film that shrinks tight with a hairdryer and creates an extra insulating barrier against the cold, often reducing drafts noticeably for just a small investment. Heavy curtains or thermal drapes can also make a real difference, trapping warm air inside during the night and helping regulate the temperature of any room. For exterior doors, check that weather stripping around the frame is intact and that the door sweep at the bottom is sealing properly against the threshold, since gaps here are one of the most common and most fixable sources of cold drafts throughout winter. Your outdoor spaces need attention too before the snow really starts to fly. Trim any tree branches that hang close to your roof, power lines, or windows, because heavy snow and ice accumulation can cause branches to snap and cause serious damage during a winter storm. Store away or properly cover outdoor furniture, and if you have a deck, check for any loose boards or railings that could become dangerously slippery and unstable once covered in snow and ice. It's also worth testing your snow removal equipment now, whether that's a snowblower or simply your trusty shovel, rather than discovering it doesn't work the morning after the first major snowfall when everyone else in your neighborhood is also scrambling to get theirs serviced. Let's not forget about your water heater, an appliance that works overtime during winter as it heats colder incoming water to keep up with your household's demand for hot showers and warm dishwater. Draining a portion of your tank to remove sediment buildup can improve efficiency and extend the life of the unit, and checking that the temperature is set appropriately, typically around 60 degrees Celsius, balances both safety and energy efficiency. If your water heater is more than 10 years old, keep an eye out for signs of rust, unusual noises, or leaks around the base, since a failing water heater is far better replaced on your own schedule than during an emergency in the middle of winter. Your chimney and fireplace, if you have one, also need a check before you start lighting fires regularly. A chimney sweep should inspect and clean the flue to remove creosote buildup, which is both a fire hazard and a blockage risk that can allow dangerous gases to back up into your home instead of venting properly outside. Make sure the damper opens and closes fully, and that there's no nesting debris from birds or squirrels who may have taken up residence over the warmer months. Finally, think about the safety and emergency preparedness side of winter homeownership, because severe weather can knock out power for hours or even days at a time. Keep a stock of flashlights, batteries, blankets, and non-perishable food on hand. And if you rely on electric heat, consider how you would keep at least one room warm during an extended outage. Locate your home's main water shutoff valve now, before an emergency, so that if a pipe does burst, despite your best efforts, you can stop the flow of water within seconds, rather than searching for it while water is actively flooding your home. Completing this checklist doesn't just protect your home from damage, it protects your wallet from thousands of dollars in emergency repairs, it protects your family's comfort and safety, and it gives you real peace of mind every time the temperature drops and the snow starts falling outside your window. Winter in Canada isn't going anywhere, but with a little preparation now, you can face it knowing your home is ready for whatever the season brings.